Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. This episode is an attempt of a re-upload of the Leave the World Behind breakdown video that was taken down yesterday. According to YouTube, the video got taken down because I apparently violated the community guidelines. They hit me with a warning due to their harassment policy, threatening to suspend my YouTube account for a week if I get another strike. At first, I figured this must have been a mistake, since I literally didn't harass anybody, and those who got to see the video can confirm that. All I did was speak about the message the movie was putting out through the symbolism. This is when I decided to ask for an appeal and also edit out some parts of the video that I believe might have possibly been the reason YouTube took the video down. I say possibly because I don't think I went against the guidelines at any point in the video. I then re-uploaded the edited video that I felt complied with YouTube policies, but I decided to take the re-upload down when my appeal of the original video was denied within 20 minutes of asking for it, which I found strange because YouTube said it would take up to a week to decide. So to avoid getting my channel suspended for a week, I took the video down. What I decided I would do was add the original video on my Patreon to avoid any problems and present only parts of the video that I believe don't go against any of YouTube guidelines in any way possible. This video is simply my opinion I formed after watching the movie Leave the World Behind. Everything I say in this video is in the context of that film. This video is not made to shock or scare anyone. I am only speaking about the movie and what I believe it was about. I am in no way trying to violate YouTube community guidelines, and I have actually gone above and beyond to make sure the video doesn't do that. Nor am I trying to harass anyone with my commentary of this movie. To me, it is truly strange that this happened to begin with. The video was up and set up for premiere for 10 hours before it was removed. The video didn't seem to have any problems, and some of the members even got to see it on early release. I would say this. In my opinion, it does feel like somebody doesn't want you guys to see this video. Now, I will play parts of the video that I believe 100% complies with YouTube guidelines. I have removed several important parts that are now only available in the original video that's on Patreon. These are only my thoughts that I formed after watching the movie. Everything in this video refers to and is in the context of the movie Leave the World Behind, not in reality. If you want to watch the original video, head over to my Patreon. You can find the link in the description of this video. Again, YouTube, I am not trying to violate any of your guidelines, just giving my thoughts on this movie. Make sure you guys follow me on all platforms just in case. You can find them in the description of this video. And please, if you saw this video, make sure to check it out again so that it's recommended and other people can see it. Thank you all. Now let's get right into it. Recently, Netflix released a new movie called Leave the World Behind that is currently trending all over social media. The reason this movie is trending is because it tells a shocking story about the end of the world. While there are plenty of movies about the end of the world, the way the world ends in this movie hits differently, as it all seems like a plausible outcome. I want to warn you that there will be spoilers in this video. I also want to make it clear that I am not trying to shock or scare any of you with this information I'm presenting in this video. I simply want to reveal the hidden messages and symbols that are in this movie to show what this movie is telling us. This movie seems to continue the very theme of an apocalyptic event unfolding. The movie is about a family of 4 who live in New York City, taking a vacation at a luxury home in Long Island they rented through Airbnb. While the family is on their vacation, strange things start to happen, like a massive cargo ship crashing into a beach they were at full speed. While the family was at home later that night, they had an unexpected guest arrive, a man named George and his daughter, who revealed themselves as the owners of the home the family had rented. George and his daughter were seeking safety in their home as they were witnessing strange activities happening in the city. While the wife, played by Julia Roberts, tried to deny George, the husband allowed him to stay, and things only became weirder and weirder. While this was happening, the internet and TV signals started to fail, which left the family in the dark about what was going on. Not long after, the family discovers the country is being attacked by cyber attacks from opposing countries. These opposing countries launched cyber attacks on the US that led to all that is seen in the movie. The movie ends with Rose, the daughter of the family, finding a doomsday bunker in the basement of the neighbor's home, ending the movie with a cliffhanger. The movie didn't end with a definitive ending, which left many viewers of the movie upset. What these people don't know is that this was done on purpose by the filmmakers, and I will explain exactly why later in this video. Now, before I start revealing the hidden message of this movie, I first need to reveal a few of the facts behind this movie. First, this movie is actually an adaptation of a book by the same name that that was released back in 2020. The book was one of 3 books written by Rumen Alam. This is extremely important as we know how the world forever changed in 2020. I don't think this book being released in 2020 about the end was a coincidence at all. Knowing the book was released in 2020, the same year the world forever changed, makes something shown on the movie poster very interesting to me. When we look at the poster for this movie, you will see that they hinted at the world now being different, as on the movie poster it states, there's no going back to normal. It's not hard to notice that everything has been different since 2020, and it doesn't seem like things would ever go back to normal like it's implied on this cover. Another thing that's interesting about this book is that Barack Obama actually recommended this book, putting it on a list of books people must read in 2021. Obama liked this book so much that he chose to make it into a movie. If you didn't know already, Obama is actually behind the book being turned into a movie, as the production company Higher Ground Productions that produced this movie is owned by Barack and Michelle Obama. What's even more interesting about this was the fact that Obama actually sent over written notes to the director Sam Esmail, helping him make the movie as real as possible. According to Esmail, he thought he had exaggerated the events of the movie to the point where they strayed too far away from what would actually happen in real life if this situation were to actually happen. According to Obama, this wasn't the case at all, as he felt it was only off by a bit, which he helped Sam correct. Sam was actually quoted saying this in an interview back in September. In the original drafts of the script, I definitely pushed things a lot further than they were in the film, and President Obama, having the experience he does have, was able to ground me a little bit on how things might unfold in reality. I am writing what I think is fiction. For the most part, I'm trying to keep it as true to life as possible, but I'm exaggerating and demonstrating, and to hear an ex-president say you're off by a few details, I thought I was off by a lot. The fact that he said that scared the F out of me. This is extremely important, and no one should let it go over their heads. We know Hollywood loves foreshadowing what would happen, and I believe this is exactly what this movie was created for. I hope you're taking notes. This movie is about the end of the old order of life, which is based on a book that was released back in 2020 when the old way of life was actually destroyed. The movie was analyzed and corrected by a former president to make it more accurate. Knowing this is Masonic programming, I knew there would be plenty of occult symbols and references all throughout this movie. The first occult reference I caught was again on the poster for the movie. If you look at the top of the poster where the actors' names are presented, you can find a hidden reference to a pagan deity worshipped by many occultists. If you look hard enough at the names, you can spot it there. The names are lined up perfectly to spell out Baal. Baal is a pagan deity originally worshipped by the Canaanites. Back then, child ritual offering was made to this god for blessings. To this day, occultists worship Baal, and we can clearly see a reference to that in this movie. There is no way this was done by accident. Just like we saw with Balenciaga last year, these occultists are showing praise to the pagan deity they worship. We can find another occult reference at the beginning of the movie when the husband played by Ethan Hawke is shown waking up. In the room, we can clearly spot 666 hidden in the scene. If we look closely, we can see a 6 on a coffee mug, a 6 on a clock, and a 6 on an alarm clock. Subtle, but clearly visible, just like the Baal reference. The next Masonic reference we see is when the family arrives at the home. We can briefly see a painting with eyes all over it. We know this is a reference to the Masonic all-seeing eye. The eyes are also blue, just like the Blue Lodge in Masonry. Another scene with obvious Masonic references is a scene I'm pretty sure most of you guys saw when Mahershala Ali told Julia Roberts that one of his clients told him about a secret meeting that takes place every year during the winter solstice hosted by the evil cabal that runs the world.
A few years back, one of my clients invited me and my wife to a private event. My client, well, I won't say his name, but you'd recognize it though.
Is he a celebrity?
No, nothing like that. But in the business world, he's one of the biggest out there. So he takes me to a study. Eventually he starts in how much he likes me and how he wishes he could invite me on this trip he's about to go on.
What kind of, where's he going?
That's exactly what I asked. And he turns to me, a serious face, and he says, oh, just my annual meeting with the rest of the evil cabal that runs the world. My friend calls me up. No scheduled appointment like he usually does, just calls me out of the blue and wants me to move around some of his money. And we're talking some big numbers even for him. And as we're getting off the phone, I asked if he wanted to grab a drink. He tells me he's going away for a while. I joke back to him, oh yeah, you hanging with your evil cabal this weekend? That was only during the winter solstice. And he doesn't laugh. And he always laughs, even with bad jokes. All he said was, take care of yourself. Almost as if he felt sorry for me. Conspiracy theory about a shot of people in the world is far too lazy of an explanation, especially when the truth is much scarier. No one is in control.
As you heard for yourself, This movie openly puts it out there that those who run the world are a part of an evil cabal. He also mentions the fact that these people are warned in advance about events like this in order to prepare. In another scene, Mahershala Ali also tells Ethan Hawke that what was going on in the movie was a three-part plan created to destroy a country. The obvious reason they're able to warn their own people about this is because they're the ones behind these things happening in the first place. In the movie, America is being cyber attacked by several outside forces who oppose America. There's a scene with Kevin Bacon where they talk about these flyers that drones are dropping from the sky. These flyers have messages on them in foreign languages. This is when they realize it could be several countries attacking them, as Kevin Bacon stated something around the lines of, "It looks like all the countries that have problems with America teamed up to attack." This means this movie is essentially about the start of World War III. What's interesting about this is if you saw my video on Albert Pike, then you would know that he wrote about 3 great wars that needed to happen in order to bring in the New World Order. There are other scenes that refer to the start of the New World, like the scene where the son's teeth started falling out of his mouth. It is believed that dreaming about teeth falling out of your mouth is a sign of rebirth for a new start. This is exactly what this movie is showing. It shows the events that would end the old order of life and begin the new order. It shows the world going through a death and rebirth. This is again why on the poster it states that there's no going back to normal. What was considered normal was destroyed to bring in the new. The next big thing that caught my attention with this movie was all the TV show Friend references throughout the movie. During the beginning of the movie, the daughter Rose is watching Friends on her tablet, but the internet ends up going out while she is watching the final episode. Rose then becomes concerned about how the last episode of Friends ends, which is ironically titled The Last One. She asked her mother Julia Roberts and she didn't answer her. Throughout the movie, Rose keeps asking about how does the show end, and nobody answers her. With the actual movie ending with Rose sneaking into a bunker in the neighbor's home where she finds a Friends DVD and plays it right as the movie ends. This instantly stuck out to me immediately. All these Friends references to me pointed to Matthew Perry. What makes this even stranger was the fact that Julia Roberts actually used to date Matthew Perry. And what makes that even more strange is that Matthew Perry actually passed away on Julia Roberts' birthday. The movie seemed to focus on Friends so much throughout the entire movie that it would make you think it was done after he passed, but that's not the case. Matthew passed away in October 2023. This movie was finished filming in May of 2022. It was released in November of 2023. It wouldn't be possible for them to put this scene in the movie afterwards. Remember, this movie is made from a book, and what's crazy is, this scene isn't even in the book. In the book, the movie ends with Rose bringing food and supplies back to George's house. But in the movie, they ended with the Friends theme song. There is an important reason they keep highlighting Friends in the movie. You can't tell me it's just a coincidence this movie has all these Friend references. Just 1 month after Matthew Perry passed, I kept thinking to myself, was Matthew Perry trying to hint at something like what's happening in this movie actually happening? Remember, before he passed, he posted several strange pictures where he was showing bat signs and saying he was coming to the rescue. Was he referring to something coming? The Friends TV show is brought up in the movie that would be released just 1 month after his passing. These references were put in the movie for a reason. All of these actors in the movie clearly appear to be Masonic puppets. Ethan Hawke, the husband in the movie, is seen doing the one-eye symbolism, showing he took the Masonic oath. We can see several photos of Ethan showing the one-eye symbolism, just like we can see with Mahershala Ali also doing the one-eye symbolism pointing to the Masonic order. It's the same with Julia Roberts, as she drew an eye on her hand in this photo. Also in this photo, she is wearing a jacket with a serpent on it, leading to the Masonic all-seeing eye, again pointing to the Masonic order. I think we should take a closer look into Julia Roberts. If you want to see that, comment Julia Roberts below. To me, this movie connects back to all the end-time symbolism being shown back in September. This is the imagery they want to put out. I believe it could all be pointing to the end of the old order of life that would make way for the new Masonic world. Everything in this movie points to this change, from the teeth falling out the brother's mouth to the shirt that says obey, which points to a totalitarian future they want to enable. This movie was full of these obvious references. Let me know what you guys thought about this movie below. Let me know if you think I missed anything as well. That's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.